What's going on? This is Yancey, author and producer of the This Is Why series. Make sure you go now and subscribe to my website, www.newfacemanagement.org. This is why you go to college.
Face Entertainment.
New Face Family. New Face Family.
This is why you go to college.
New Face Entertainment.
New Face Entertainment.
This is why you go to college.
New Face Entertainment.
This is why you go to college.
This is why you go to college.
And this is why you go to college.
All right, let's get your names going, my guys. Let's start over here.
All right, Brian McClure. What's going on? I'm Byron McClure.
All right, so let's see. Let's get the rundown. Your major? What was your major?
So at Hampton, I studied history.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was at Hampton, I was a psychology major.
All right, and you graduated
Yeah, 2008.
2008.
Yeah.
Graduate school.
Yeah, so after finishing Hampton, I went to graduate school at North Carolina Central.
Okay.
And there I received a degree master's degree in history.
Okay.
And then I went on to get a PhD from the University of Memphis in history as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so after Hampton, I went all the way out to Texas, Abilene Christian University, got my master's in psychology. Then after that, I went to Indiana University of Pennsylvania, got my doctorate degree in school psychology.
All right, and what do you do now, sir?
So now I work for DC government, and I'm a policy director for a local council member.
Okay.
Come on, you being modest. Like, tell them, man, tell them what you do. I mean, so help write laws, and it's funny because a lot of what I do for the past 3 years has been to support local business development here in the district.
Really?
Yeah,
Isn't that interesting? Nice.
The next man in DC, you being modest.
Man, that's what's up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big things. Yeah.
And you, sir?
And I am a practicing school psychologist for the past 8 years. I've been in Southern Maryland, now I've been in DC. I'm at Anacostia High School, working in Ward 8, Southeast DC.
All right.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, tell us a little about your experience with New Face and.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know. So
I'll let y'all take the
I'll start first. So our experience goes all the way back to 2003 when we actually were in high school. And we were seniors, and we had an older brother, Edwin, who was a freshman or sophomore in college. And he went to Hampton University. In our senior year, we were going through the process, trying to figure out, what school we were going to. We actually got the opportunity to go up to Hampton to visit. And our older brother, Ed, was showing us around. He's like, hey, man, like, I'm part of this company, New Face. So it was like North Face, like, the coat, like, the jacket was like, nah, New Face, like, we throw parties, we do, media, like, all this stuff. And he was like, man, like, this is my big brother, Yancey. And he made that introduction to us at the party. I believe it was at the party that we went to. And from there, like, I don't know if you remember, but we had a conversation. It was like, yo, like, Ed, that's my boy. And he said, yo, y'all gotta come to Hampton, and we partied. Like, and after that, it was a wrap for my high school experience.
Yeah.
We made the decision it was gonna be a Hampton. We loved that party. And I remember, like, you gave us the roadmap that night. Man, that's what happened. And it was all love from the first day that we met. And that's how we met. Yeah, I mean, I had a similar experience. So back in high school, I guess the one thing that was different for me is I do remember being at a party in the ballroom, but I remember getting your contact information. And when I went back to high school, I would but call you from time to time, and you would give me some advice, and I was like, yo, like, I have to go to Hampton. And even before, like, I don't know if I could say this, but I wanted to be a Q.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
take your story.
I wanted to be a Q. And when I went up to Hampton, I met you, I met some of the other brothers, and I was like, yo, like, they're doing some crazy things up there. And I was like, this guy Yancey's pretty cool. And you really became my big brother then. Yeah. And so from there, I was like, man, I want to be like this guy Yancey. And so I guess that's where it started. Yeah, that's where it started. That's real. Yeah, I wanted to be part of New Face. I wanted to be part of whatever that fraternity he was at the time. And here I am, this young kid, just amazed with everything that was going on at the time.
All right, cool. So, tell us a little bit about New Face once y'all got to college and your experience with New Face.
Yeah, so for me, there are a lot of different like student organizations at the time.
The first organization, of course, that I joined was New Face. Man, the thing that stuck out to me was like, I'm more of an introverted person, and so a lot of the people that I met was, of course, through Elwin and through Byron. But New Face gave me the opportunity to meet other like people that were part of our class, but other older people as well, and other people that were very involved, that had an entrepreneurial spirit. We used to have those meetings. I think, what was it, on Sundays or something?
With Sunday dinners,
Yeah,
Tuesday
those
meetings.
Sunday dinners. Yeah. And like, there's one particular meeting that I remember being in Holland, and I don't know why we were in there, or MLK, I think it was. And I remember like Crystal Roberts was in there, and I'm like, man, like, yo, these people are pretty cool. And so I remember just having that space where we were all just talking, getting to know each other. And I think she was the other person I met that was from New York.
Okay.
And I was like, man, like, this college life is pretty cool. So.
Yeah, so for me, like my experience with New Face on college, that was my first organization that I joined too. Like you had like the formal organization, but then you had New Face, which was the organization to like be a part of once you got to college. And as a freshman coming into college, like you can be anxious about meeting people, about connecting, about understanding like the school climate. But being able to connect with New Face, like you have automatic big brothers and sisters. You have automatic people that you can talk to, that you can find out like, hey, what's going on? I may need help in this area. And there's so many different people who can help you in whatever way that you need.
Right.
And so my experience coming in was just to like do any and everything and find where I could fit in, which was for us, the street team.
Yeah.
And so what that looked like was like promotion, passing flyers out. I remember one of our first tasks was getting some of the promo material and going car to car, putting the material like on the car. But we met so many people just through doing that.
Because
Like,
we were going like across the city doing it. We weren't just like there in Hampton.
Right.
Remember one time you sent us out to ODU.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, like this is a pretty cool area. Like you seeing other college campuses. So it really like exposed us to a new world too.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so keeping in mind back then there was no social media.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So like
exactly.
everything was very interactive. We had to go out there and like
Be
meet
social.
people and be out there
We had
actually
to
be
be
social
social.
because there was no social media. You know what I'm saying? So
And
yeah.
even through that, like we met so many people, we made so many contacts, and like the contacts that we made, it wasn't just a one-time interaction. Like it lasted throughout my entire duration in college, on to graduate school, on to where we are today. Like still being in touch with these people as well.
Would you say that New Face was able to open you guys up to, it's like you said, more introverted, to being able to be comfortable talking to people or explaining things that you had going on?
Absolutely. Like even like you had to be able to convey like dates, locations, times, and a concise message in a really short amount of time. And that translates over into work, into graduate school. Like here's the message, this is what I'm trying to convey, and getting it done. And then also just supporting people and helping people and influencing people, right? I think another way to kind of conceptualize it is everybody who was a part of New Face, we were influencers before influencers like became a thing.
Right.
And so using our influence to get people to do something, whether that was attending parties, getting them to come out to different social events, getting internship experience, like we were influencing people at a very young age, and that was a powerful thing. And that still translates to the work that I do even now in the schools, in politics, and whatever area that I'm in now.
Elaborate. All right, moving on. We good. Tell me, well, I guess you go first, and your favorite New Face parties, or a story about one of the events. Yeah.
Man, there's so many. It's hard to pick one. I used to love the skate parties. I mean, I just remember like the music, the people, just the social scene. They just used to be crazy. One of my most memorable experiences, though, and I was telling Byron this in the back, was we used to drive the vans for the party.
Explain the vans or something. They don't know. You know, so explain the vans.
So there were so many different people that were going to these parties. A lot of them would be freshmen, and so even for people who didn't have transportation, New Face provided transportation for people who wanted to attend the parties. And so these, what they would do is they would have people who would staff, and so they would drive these vans. And so we would pick up the vans, then we would have certain spots that we would be responsible for going to pick up, taking to the party, and then taking them back to make sure they return to their dorm safely. And this one particular night, it was a skate party. I was driving the van, and had just dropped a group off at the skate party and was headed back to campus to pick up another group. And for whatever reason, I cut the turn too tight and scratched someone's car. It was more than like a scratch. All I heard was like just this loud screeching sound. But what made it so bad was like the parking lot was full at that time. So like everybody saw what was happening. It was like nowhere I could go. I couldn't do anything. And I'm like, oh crap. Like, bro.
Mine, this was 10 to 12 years ago, guys. It was a long time ago, alright? So it's
I'm like, Yancey's gonna kill me. But yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, so my favorite new face moment, favorite party, I mean, it had to be after we had just crossed, and we had a party at the Legion. The Legion was the spot to be. That's where we had a lot of our parties. And this party, we had just got offline, and everybody was out. Everybody wanted to come and
How many people did you
celebrate.
say were there?
Thousands of people. It seemed like hundreds of thousands of people.
Explain what the Legion was and what we did, you know, in the Legion, so people can understand. It wasn't like a club. It wasn't, you know, a bottle service type of event. Like, what was the Legion?
Yeah, so the Legion, in and of itself, was somewhat of a bingo hall, somewhat of like an entertainment space. If you can visualize, just like a huge open space, and different venues would come in and have different events. But Yancey had the creative genius to see the potential where college students can come and have a safe space to let loose after a week of hard work in the classroom, a place where students could come and have a good time. So he literally turned it into a place to come and have a party. And I remember it was 07, we had just crossed, become members of our fraternity incorporated, and we had our party there. And it was so many people. I don't know the official capacity, but it seemed to be thousands of people. That could be an exaggeration, but it was a lot of people packed into this place, which it was for most of the New Face parties. And I remember I actually have some photos of just me, my line brothers, and all of our friends just having the time of our life. I mean, the parties, like, you lost track of time, you lost track of all the other responsibilities, and you just had a space where you're having a good time. And that was largely in part to Yancey and his vision for seeing a space, turning it into a venue that houses so many people to come and have a good time.
I believe we have that footage, so
Nice.
we're gonna take that and put it with the footage. So we definitely have that. So.
And like I was just like I remember even being a freshman and being able to like cut the line, and so you would see like these long lines.
Long lines of people,
and we would just like come
packed
in,
around the building.
Like, walk straight in, and everyone would be looking at us like, who are these folks? Like, why are they important? And we weren't. We just started.
Yeah, weren't.
Yeah,
New Face.
Yeah, New Face.
Yeah.
With the badges.
Yeah.
The badges that we had.
T-shirts.
T-shirts, everything, material.
Right. Yeah. And even that reminded me of something like, for most parties, we would have to get there early to help set up. And so even that, you know, was still teaching us like how to, you know, organize events. It taught us responsibility. Like, you really helped give us ownership of New Face too.
Yeah, remember, some people who wasn't allowed, if they showed up late, they were waiting in line with everybody else.
That's right.
Unless they got an advance notice or an issue.
Yeah, so it taught us responsibility. Even working the door, like being able, like, just because you're cool with people, you're not letting them in for free. It taught us responsibility in an indirect way, like making sure all the money was there, making tickets was there. Like, we were learning to be entrepreneurs.
One thing we wanted to discuss was the 12 to 2. Let's try to talk about the 12 to 2 and just, you know, explain to them what the 12 to 2 was for campus and how we created that.
So I'll start.
Man, because 12 to 2 almost got me put out my freshman year. I almost flunked out of school because of 12 to 2. But
told you not to have class. Do not schedule your classes between the hours of 12 and 2 on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I told y'all, but go ahead.
But
Somebody didn't listen.
12 to 2, it was a time you if you didn't have classes, you were able to come to the student center, which was where a lot of people convened, and we set up the DJ, and everybody from freshmen all the way up to seniors, people who were in graduate school, could come, kick back, listen to music, and just have a good time. A lot of the fraternities and sororities would come out, they would stroll, and everyone just had a good time, and that was the place to be. People would wear the best outfits, people would come in the fresh gear, and just showing out, just having a good time. So that was 12 to 2.
I mean, you look forward to 12 to 2.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you live for that, man.
Yeah, you may not see people all week long, but you can count on seeing them
at
12 to 2.
Yeah, that's where it went down, man.
Yeah, because a lot of that's why we have to talk about the 12 to 2 because at this point a lot of students on campus have a little confusion about 12 to 2 or don't know where it originated from, where they don't know that we originated 12 to 2.
That's right.
You know, and then as you guys, classes of 2008. So you guys were obviously there in 2004, you know, and then as high school students in 2003, so they have to understand the history of the 12 to 2. It wasn't, you know, we're talking about 15, 16 years that it's been going on. So it's very a part of the history of the university.
Absolutely, man. Oh, man.
Sunday dinners.
The Sunday dinners was everything. And I was reflecting on the Sunday dinners not too long ago. And for me, that was a moment of reflection. It was a moment of family. And the word family just kept coming to mind because we were all able to talk. We were able to just have a good time and relax and learn so much from everybody, from all the different members. We could recap, you know, what went well from the events, what didn't go well. It was just a good time. Come together and get some amazing food. Yancy would throw down in the kitchen, y'all. Yancy was cooking, but it was a great time. The Sunday dinners, and you look forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, just shoot, as a freshman or underclassman, you know, we weren't getting home cooked meals like that.
Right.
So.
You away from your family or away from home, and to get a home cooked meal, like Yancy, he made sure to have that family component within New Face. And I think that's saying a lot because other organizations, like they may go out to eat or do something once in a blue moon, but Yancy made sure to have a staple to where we could bring everybody together under the roof of his house in an intimate setting and just commune with one another. Like that was remarkable. Yeah.
What message would you have for a high school senior that's contemplating college, trying to decide what they want to do, whether they want to go away, or like just that in-between stage? What message would you have for them when it comes to going to college?
Yeah, so my message for high school seniors is college can be the best experience of your life. College is going to be what you make it as far as the education. For me, the most important thing about college was the social experience, the networking that you get while you're in college. I was blessed to have a big brother like Yancy and some others who really took me under their wing and helped make sure that I had the best college experience as possible. But I also took it upon myself to go to these different events, to join different clubs, associations, and organizations. And so to all the high schoolers out there who are thinking about making that next step, like college is going to be one of the funnest times of your life. Those relationships that you build with people, those are going to be the friends that you have the rest of your life. Those are going to be the people who will be in your wedding, who will be there when you have kids. College can be everything, but it's not the only thing. It'll be a start for you to propel you into the future. So I will hope that you find the college that is the best fit for you, and that you find the friends who can help you through college when times are hard, through the good times, and just make the best out of that college experience.
All right, and then next question is, what message would you have for someone who's in college that's thinking about dropping out, thinking about, you know, leaving and, you know, being done with college?
Yeah. So my advice or my words of wisdom to those freshmen who are in college and who may be having a difficult time or dealing with different struggles while you're in college is you're gonna have to find your reason of why, and that could look different depending on where you are or what you're going through in your life. It's gonna require soul searching, but you can find the people who can help you to make the best decision. Like I said before, I would encourage you to get involved. Join associations, join organizations, join different clubs to find people who have shared experiences with you, who have different interests that you have. that can make the college experience that much more richer for you. If you're thinking about going home, you really have to consider the pros and cons. But college can be one of the best experiences of your life. So see it through, don't quit, don't give up, and make the best decision moving forward.
One more time.
For that high school student that's looking to go to college,
Right.
what message would you have for that person that's trying to figure it out?
Man, college is a moment for self-discovery. This is the opportunity where you go to find out who you really are. The one message that I really want to get across to you is that education is what you make it. I mean, education is not just what you get with the set curriculum or what you read in a book. Education is meeting that person from New York or that person from Alaska or that Black Republican or whomever. Education is failing and learning to get back up again. Education is something that's going to set you up for life. So go to college if you have the opportunity, whether it's a community college or four-year institution. Find what best suits you and your needs, and go out and embark on a journey for self-discovery.
Cool. And then for that freshman, that college freshman that's in school, that's thinking about, dropping out and going back home to their parents, what do you have for them?
Man, I was there. So my freshman year, I almost flunked out. I ended my freshman year with a 1.75 GPA. And here I stand before you with the PhD. And so whether it's academics or you're homesick, just try to stick it out the best you can, because once you get over that hurdle, life is going to open up, and the limits or what you can do is limitless. So just stick it through, and things will turn around for you.
All right, cool. One thing we didn't get a chance to talk about, and one thing I did want to touch on, because we all three of us are fathers, so just wanted to talk about what that's like, being married men and being fathers and in the community. So just talking about that, because everything comes back full circle.
I'll let you go first.
It's a beautiful thing. Like right now, my daughter is somewhere in the back with her nose running while trying to conduct this interview. But it's a beautiful thing. I've been married. It'll be 8 years in July.
Okay.
And actually, I met my wife at Hampton University. Our freshman year started dating our sophomore year, and we've been tight ever since. I have a 3-year-old daughter and a son that was born June 1st. So we're really blessed, But he's 3 weeks old. But being a father means everything to me. It started with my family. I have a strong father. I grew up with other brothers. Once I got to Hampton, I met other men who were just doing some amazing things. People like Nancy, who helped teach me what it really means to be a man. And those are the same things that I'm trying to instill in my children as well. I've been really fortunate. I'll let you.
So I've been fortunate. I've been blessed to be married for 6 years now. It seems a lot longer than that, right? I've been blessed to be married for 6 years. I have 2 beautiful children. I have a 5-year-old son named Braden and a 2-year-old daughter named Adeline. We call her Addie for short. And being a father has been everything. I take a lot of the things I learned from my father, from my brothers, from my big brothers at Hampton, and I'm trying to instill those values in my kids and my children as well. One of the reasons why I became Alpha is so that I could have a legacy to pass down to my kids, and a lot of those values and things I've learned through that process, I'm starting to teach my son now. As far as what it means to be a man, as far as taking care of responsibilities, and still instilling those same values into my daughter of, being proud, being bold in who you are, and being unapologetic about that as well. And so, just being a family man has been a blessing in this phase of my life.
All right, guys, we want to wrap this up. You guys have been awesome.
I just want to say one more thing. Shout out to Yancy. we can't give him enough credit for what he has done, like creating a platform such as New Face Entertainment in an age to where there was no social media. I think we still had like MySpace and Black Planet back then. And to just create something with such a large network, so where you have renowned DJs, you have business men, you have entrepreneurs, you have politicians. Like all of this came from the body, from the mind of Yancey. And so shout out to Yancey for the work that he's done. Yeah.
You're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it.
Shout out to him.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen.